Guys, let's talk a little headlines for the Chiefs right now before we get into more of our blind nil. You're still going to get a blind nil, so you got to come up with another one.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's like a little headlines. I think the biggest headline for me, Mecole Hardman.
Yeah.
We felt optimistic that going into week 18 he was going to get to play, and then we felt like, okay, they're being cautious with him, and then he got the bye. Okay, he's going to be ready to go, and now that he hasn't practiced, and they basically came out and said, like, it's not responding the way that we want it to. At this point, I don't know if we're going to see him at all the rest of the year, which is kind of a bummer because early in this week, I was even saying, like, we're finally going to get to see the Chiefs offense at full strength for the first time, besides one game against the Titans where Kadarius Toney was with the team for like 3 days. That was it.
Yes.
And so, Tucker, like, how much do you think Mecole not playing could affect the Chiefs situation?
I think it would worry me a little bit more if we hadn't seen Kadarius Toney come on as strong as he has. I mean, he has been playing better than I anticipated. I know when the trade happened, we had a live show, and basically we were saying, all right, like, this trade makes sense for the future because the Chiefs don't have a lot of these wide receivers under contract. It makes sense for the future. Well, we don't know how much to expect because, we saw the Chiefs go out and add Josh Gordon, for example, and not really see it translate all that much on the field, and thinking, okay, they just really want him for a body, get him in the system. And if we talk about this too with wide receivers, it's notorious that you have to spend half of your career learning the Andy Reid system before you get it. But he comes in and he scores a touchdown on his first play by hopping on one leg. Joshua Briscoe called it the Veggie Tales touchdown, which I thought was very funny. And then you see him adjust his gloves midair and try to catch a ball and do catch the ball. Then you see him make guys miss when he's getting routes out in the flood. And that's his first game. Right. We've seen him do crazy stuff since then where he bobbled it in kind of against, I can't remember. I think that was the Raiders. He bobbled it. And then it was even the throwback too on the Arctic Circle play. He's getting involved in this offense. And I think I'd be a little bit more worried about this Chiefs offense if I haven't seen what I've seen from Kadarius Toney. But Kadarius Toney, man, I've just been so impressed by what he's been able to add to this offense. And shout out to Brett Veach and company, everybody in that front office for having the foresight to make that move. They obviously didn't know Mecole Hardman was going to get hurt, but to having the foresight to make that move which was probably for the future at the time, but have it make out and benefit them in the short term is incredible. But I say all that to say it's a very weird situation with Mecole Hardman. The language of it not responding is a very strange to me, just because we've gone from it being an abdominal injury to an abdominal illness to now a pelvis injury. So the injury itself has changed. The designation has changed in itself as this time has gone along. And I do worry that maybe we've seen Mecole Hardman play his last game in a Chiefs uniform. This was a contract year for Mecole Hardman. He only played in 8 games. I think he's 250-ish yards. I don't think he quite made it to the 250 mark, but 4 touchdowns this year. He was well on his way to being probably the third best threat on this team before his injury. And if you probably would have asked me in week 8, I probably would have said, yeah, Mecole Hardman's probably that, 1, you got Travis Kelce, 2, Juju, 3, probably Mecole Hardman. That was obviously before Jerick McKinnon started playing like Jerick McKinnon has. But you look at that, Kadarius Toney has been able to step in and not miss a beat at all.
He is. I think he's an upgrade. Like, to be honest, I think he's Mecole Hardman upgrade. He's got the speed. I think. Well, I'd say I give Mecole got more speed, but damn, man. I mean, Kadarius Toney, he runs like Pacheco. Like, he runs angry. Like, he's like Juju. He gets some good yak, right? He gets some good yards after the catch, and I love watching him catch the ball. Because he wants to score and he wants to run through an arm tackle in the open field. And DBs are like, nah, I really don't want to tackle this guy head on. It's like,
I'm excited to see what Andy Reid's got for him.
Oh, yeah.
Like what they've got dialed up, some of the misdirection, some of the end around, jet sweep, ghost action, pass back, screen plays, whatever they've got in their bag. We're going to see something in the playoffs that we haven't seen before. And it's going to involve Kadarius Toney because he's the most explosive player they got out there right now.
That's awesome.
And I do think I think Mecole maybe long stride could be faster, but athletically, laterally, Kadarius Toney is a more explosive athlete, in my opinion, from what we've seen, kind of within space. If there's like people around him kind of sorting through the trash and like maneuvering through it, Kadarius Toney, Nick, to your point, like might not be as physical as Isaiah Pacheco, just like big and kind of running through those, but he damn near he tries, and it's fun to watch because he's trying.